Okay, I'm gonna turn around so you can see what I'm doing with the neck, because you always want to start at the back of the neck. If you don't feel comfortable going on the spine, which I totally understand, I'll show you how to go around the spine. So I'll show you both, and then we'll work our way around.
Okay.
Tell me if you can see me.
I can.
Okay, great. So this is another great way to like watch your posture too, which helps so much with the movement. But I always find that opening with the back kind of helps me align with my posture anyways. So you can use this little divot right here to either hug the spine. So I go kind of just as far down, like C, what is this, C7? So it's kind of like this little bulge right here that most people have.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of start there. You know, if you can keep going down if you want, but you don't want to strain your arm. And then you gently move it up with the stone flat. And once you hit the occipital ridge here, you just kind of do a little wiggle. And what that does is it opens up these pathways. There's these two little ridges that are kind of small holes in our skull. And that's the only inlet of oxygen that we get to our brain. So if this is blocked, then how are we going to get oxygen to our skin? You know what I mean? Other than breathing. So when we can open this up and gently wiggle it, it's almost kind of creating an opening.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the one that, like, if you're, I don't want you to be rough, you know, still be gentle, but when you get to that point where you can wiggle it, you can add a little pressure. That's like where you'll get that sensation, you know? You could also use just the side of your tool like this. I'd put it on the side next to the spine, as flat as possible. And then once you hit the occipital ridge, you just do a little wiggle.
Feels so good.
Isn't it nice?
Amazing.
And honestly, if you just get to this part, this is huge, you know?
Yeah.
I like to do all of the neck before I move on to the face. Once you're at the face, just the way the lymph drains, you just stick to one side and then do the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do the other side. If you didn't just do the little hook on the spine, you can finish the other side. And that feels great. And I like to just give myself like a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I kind of connect it with my breath. So I'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and as I wiggle, I exhale. So kind of like how you have to learn to breathe with yoga or learn to breathe with like any exercise, like learning to breathe with gua sha is huge. Mm-hmm. So then, you know, you've opened up the back, you've got your great posture, you're already connected with your breath, it's already feeling good. Now you move to the side. So I like to make sure I have my shoulder available here. So, and you can either go like this, just like you, or for some reason, I always tend to do like this. So right kind of where that terminus area is, we have all of this crazy stagnation here. Just gently move up. The stone has to be as flat to the neck or the skin as much as it can, and it has to hook right back here. You see where it hooks right here?
Yeah, I feel that.
Let the curvature find the skull and then wiggle. Yeah. And you can go up and down, but I think it's kind of easier to just go up. Yeah. And you do that 3 to 5 times. Perfect. Then moving to the front, if I bumped this, sorry. I like to start right under the collarbone. Again, try to keep the stone as flat as possible. And like, you can go a little bit over those breakouts as long as you're not applying tension and you don't have an existing inflamed infection, right? Let's say you do, then maybe instead you would go just like this, just to kind of open that up. That feels great too. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I really need this apparently, holy moly. And then you can kind of go a little over the collarbone too. So if you are having really bad inflammation here, just kind of open this up a little bit and that helps. Otherwise, you go over the collarbone all the way here. And I like to kind of just wiggle where, we hold so much tension here because there's so much trying to flow. So that feels so nice. So just be, you know, as gentle as you can. but that's a really great way to kind of get that moving. So then you would match up the other side, just because we want to open all the neck up so that we can drain all this down. So you just open that back up to the side and try to make your arms adjust so you don't have to move your neck so much, because you want this to stay as stable. Think about like if you were laying down for a facial. You don't have to move too much, but I'm adjusting to you so that pathway doesn't get constricted.
Right.
So if you find yourself kind of trying to adjust, then see if there's a different way that you can handle the tool.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to take practice.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm even like, oh, that doesn't feel right. And then I just adjust.
Yeah.
You know, the people that make it look so pretty and easy are the ones that are just faking it. Like sometimes you have to move and kind of make an uncomfortable pass, you know, and then moving forward like this. And it almost kind of just like brings up and like holds the jaw up, you know, you're just giving yourself a little facial lift. And then if you can always do this pass too, this is always really great. You're just moving that out. Oh,
Talk about
I love it.
why it seems counterproductive to me to go up when we want to drain.
Yeah, because you have to open it. So you're opening up a door. You know what I mean? And you can go up and down, and that's kind of opening it up. I like to just go up because it gives more continuity. Like, especially because I don't have a lot of oil on. I put oil on maybe 20 minutes before we talked. So if I were to go back and forth right now, I would probably be causing a little bit of erythema, but you can, absolutely. The only place, you know, going up on the back of the spine is probably the one that makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, you drain it all back down. So once we get everything moving on the face, we've collected all here, and that's when we for sure go down.
Okay.
So right now you're opening the doors, and that's why you're going up. You can go up and down, but especially going up just kind of gets that activation. It gets the posture correct so flow can come through.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
But we get it to move down at the very end.
Okay.
So we're here, we've opened up the neck. If you don't have any thyroid issues, especially hyperthyroid issues, you can also go over the thyroid and move up and just land right here at the very like bottom of the chin. Sometimes I like to kind of go almost like above the chin line just to kind of give a nice lift. And so much gets pooled right here. This is a time where if you start to feel like, wow, there's a lot I'm feeling, that's something to kind of just take an inventory of, like, okay, obviously this is where I hold tension and this is where I'm trying to detoxify at the same time. How can I pay attention to releasing that tension throughout the day?